Greetings to everybody. How are you today? I hope you are happy. I hope you are well and healthy. I hope that you are practicing the Dhamma, the teaching of the Buddha. If you have any question, please let me know now. Please send in one question at a time. And if this is your first time, please let me know where you come from. I'll be here for a while, about 1 hour, to answer all of your questions. So I'll start reading your comments. First, Ya Chanicha Satu, Devi Silananda, Satu Satu, Gimbunchu Satu Satu, Vicky Tang, good afternoon Thanajan, Emily R. Shelton, Satu Satu, Geg Yen So, dear Thanajan, greeting from Penang. May Thanajan be well and healthy. Thank you. Pat Choi Chong, Satu Satu Ajahn, Im Bun Chu Satu, Ong Apprentice, sound is clear. Kenneth Tan Ki Bok, greetings Ajahn, may you be well and happy. Kenneth Hunt, good morning Thanajan. Good morning to you. Haven't seen you for a while. Did you just come out of your retreat? I hope it went well for you, fruitful for you. Question from Fabrizio Pichi from Brazil. I hope you are well and healthy. Question number 1. I have been feeling very inspired by your teachings, and the desire to try monastic life is growing again. Can you please give me some advice on how to develop this wholesome aspiration? Well, to develop this wholesome aspiration, you have to be near the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, meaning you have to keep studying the teaching of the Buddha and his noble disciple, and also keep doing the practice, because when you get the result, you will be very inspired. Before you can get the result, you have to study the teaching of the Buddha and his noble disciples. Study the life of the Buddha, the noble disciple, how they practice. Then you will become inspired to do the practice. And after you have done the practice, then you will realize the result from your practice. Then you will be very inspired, because the result is very rewarding, and it wants you to want more and makes you don't want to have anything else but the result from your practice. So keep studying and keep practicing, and you will be constantly inspired. Tall Tan Peng, Satu, Satu. Irene Uy, good afternoon Ajahn and everyone in the Dhamma, Satu. Nabiti, good morning, Namaskaran Ajahn. Pasana, Namaskaran Ajahn. Asep Ahui Sempurna, may Ajahn be well, happy, healthy, Satu, Satu. Question number 2 from Fabrizio Pichi. A few years ago, I was ordained as an Anangarika in Wat Yannasangwararam, but when it was time to ordain as a Samanera, I gave up. How to deal with fear of ordination and fear of not being a good monk? That may end up disrobing. Well, you can always think that you got nothing to lose. The worst thing that will happen to you is to disrobe, and you will return to the position where you are now. So ordaining is really not a big loss if you should not be able to continue. So just give it a try. look at yourself and say, look at other people and say, if they do it, if they can do it, why cannot I? They are human beings just like me. So if they can do it, I should be able to do it myself. So I think you should give it a try. But the most important thing is you have to be diligent in your practice, persistent in your practice. You must keep up with your practice at all times. Then you will be a good monk, good samanera, and you will continue to be ordained for the rest of your life. Pat Bam Patrapon, good morning, Ajahn. Kenahan, yes, Tan Ajahn, just back from silent retreat. The conditions were very good for practice, and it was very beneficial. Thank you for your guidance. You're welcome. Happy to hear that. Hope you continue on with your practice even now when you're not in retreat. Try to stay mindful, keep your mind in the present, and look at things as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Aranut, good morning, Prajan. Greeting from San Jose, California. I have a question from Venerable Ajahn Mun's book. The book said, knowing the original citta, you will be free of all delusion, beyond worries. If you go out following the citta's destination, you will go wrong immediately. What are citta's origin and citta's destinations? The perfect state of calm of the citta is the origin of the citta, and the citta destination is to remain in this state of calm and peace. This is when you have attained to jhana. Once you have attained to jhana, you will know what the original state of the citta is, and where you want to keep this citta at all times. So to answer your question, you have to have jhana. But jhana is only a temporary glimpse of the original citta and the temporary destination of the citta, because you cannot remain in jhana at all times. So you eventually have to come back out. That's when you have to learn to teach your mind with vipassana, not to be chasing after delusion or illusions, so that you will always keep coming back to your destination, which is peace and stillness of mind. Question number 3 from Fabrizio. I know for myself that living in a forest monastery close to nature is very suitable for practice. But it's not easy because there are all sorts of beings around, like snakes, spiders, scorpions, etc. How to deal with fear and use it to our favor. That's right. These animals can be beneficial to you because it will force you to be mindful, to be careful, to be watchful with every movement of your body. So look at them as friends, as reminding you to be mindful. And in this way, you can develop mindfulness very easily. And they will not hurt you. So don't worry about them. They're not your enemies. If you happen to come face to face with them, just stand still. And after a few minutes, then they will go their separate ways. So there's no need to be afraid of these animals. You are not their victim. They're not after you for food, so they're not harmful to you. As long as you're mindful, and when you come to face with them, just stand still, and they will not attack you or hurt you. So it's good to have these animals around you because it will make you always mindful. And then you can use this mindfulness to develop samadhi or jhana and eventually develop vipassana or wisdom and get rid of all your defilements and become liberated from the rounds of samsara. Without them, it will be very difficult for you to develop mindfulness. That's why monks seek the seclusions of the forest, because it's a good place to develop mindfulness and samadhi and vipassana and magga phala nibbana. From George Lim, good day to you, Ajahn. When we grow old, like reaching 90, 80, 90, or 100 years old, does the mind also become weak like the body? No, the mind always remains the same. It is not the body, so it doesn't get weak, but it knows the limitation of the body. So it might appear like the mind is old, but actually it's the old of the body. It's the age of the body that limits the ability of the mind to perform things. With loss of memory, slow in thought and speech impediment. No, the memory of an enlightened person doesn't disappear. It's always mindful. His thought is always bright and clear. So the mind of someone who has developed will not be affected by the age of the body. Even for a living arahant, or is it the brain that is weak but not the mind? It is the body that is weak, and the brain is part of the body. But the mind is still the same. The mind is like the driver of an automobile. When you get a new automobile, you can drive the automobile very quickly. But as the automobile gets old, it then starts to lose its ability to move fast or perform well like when it is brand new. But the driver is still the same one, the same driver. The driver hasn't changed. Sadhu from Sally Chi, Adiaha Sadhu. Jeffrey Scott White, good evening from North Carolina, USA. Thank you. Good evening, good morning to you. I'm sorry, it's good evening to you also. It's morning here, it's evening in USA. Colonel Kennedy, Vandami Ajahn. Is it wise to dana to women who wear robe and whom we believe have jhana? Second related question. It is wise to give to anybody who needs your help. Doesn't have to be male ordainee. A woman ordainee also needs help, needs support from you. So it's always nice to do dana to everybody. Even those who are not monks or nuns, you can still give dana to them if they need your help. Second related question, which is more wise to donate to men who wear robe but no jhana, or who wear robe and have jhana? It's very difficult to find out, to know whether they have jhana or not. So you cannot really tell by looking. So it's wise, it's good to give to both, to anybody. It's good to give even to animals if they need help, if they need your help. So don't look at their ability, what they can do. Look at what they need. If they need your help and you can help them, help them. Doesn't matter who. Question number 4 from Fabrizio Picci. Writing this question, I realized that the word fear appears more than once. So how to deal with fear in general? Well, fear is because you expect things to be secure, to be protected. Yeah. But you live in a world of anicca, impermanent, in which things can happen. Any kind of things can happen to you. So you have to teach yourself that things can happen anytime. That can hurt you, that can harm you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Because it's the way the world is. So by being afraid doesn't change anything. So it's better to be ready to accept your fate. Be ready to get old, get sick, or die. Because this is the inevitability. Sooner or later, we all will get sick and die, regardless of who we are. By being afraid doesn't make anything better. It can only make your mind feel worse. The worst thing that can hurt you is the fear in the mind, not aging, sickness, or death. So, and besides the death is the death of the body. It's not the death of the mind. Who is afraid? The body is not afraid of death because the body doesn't know that it is gonna die. Why the mind doesn't die but knows that the body will die, but due to the delusion of the mind thinks that it is gonna die with the body. So keep reminding yourself, reminding the mind that the mind doesn't die with the body. When you die, it's like just when the body dies, it's just like going to sleep. You continue on in the dream world. Thank you very much for all your support and teaching. It's a real blessing to meet a great Ajahn like you in this lifetime. You're welcome. Ali Hassan, good day Ajahn and all Dhamma friends. Hope everyone in good condition. Let's together listen to the teaching sound clear Ajahn. Thank you. วลัยพร กราบนมัสการท่านอาจารย์ from Bangkok, Thailand. Wish ท่านอาจารย์ healthiness. Gerard Louis Namo Amitufo. Joanne Lim Chu In Satu Satu. Kelvin, good morning Ajahn. I am from Singapore. Thank you. Jolin Te Satu Satu. Ali Hassan, is sleep without dream is the best meditation. No, sleep without dream is not the best meditation. The best meditation is to be still, to be still in the mind and have no thoughts performing at that time. The mind becomes completely still and very alert, knowing, having equanimity, peace, and happiness. Ajahn said, switch off the TV, then we'll see the screen. Stop thinking, we'll see the mind. I remind and keep on practicing this. Really amazing when I said to myself before going to sleep that night, stop thinking, switch off. It is really for the first time. I waken up the next morning and realized yesterday was the first time slept without a dream. Maybe it was but forgot already when awakened. Mind really light and clear the next morning after wake up. But this is not samadhi. With samadhi you will be constantly alert. Excuse me. From someone, Break Guru, good morning Master, good morning to you. James Ong, Satu, Satu. Sawante, Satu, Satu. Kelvin, my question is, I live with my parents and my brother and his family. I am not close to my brother and the family, as they are selfish and obnoxious people living with us. Recently, my brother's wife beat my younger nephew with a stick. It was over something very minor. He is 9 years old this year. He was late in going to her room on time to complete some work, and she beat him continuously on his arm and back. Bruises and marks appear all over his back and arm. I believe she was venting her frustration of the unhappiness that my mother was working OT and she had to take care of the kids. She has been physically violent to my brother, kicking and punching him before throwing things in the house and kicking my mom. However, this was the first time she got so physical with my younger nephew, as it is usually the older nephew who got it previously. I wanted to report this to the police and child protection services. However, my parents did not want to, as they fear of trouble and inconvenience to them. In fact, they said not to interfere in their family business, but yet depressed over this. I was trying to recall the teachings from all my Dhamma talks, including yours, on Facebook. Firstly, it is the child and her karma to undergo this. Yes, and my parents' karma as well. Your karma as well. Everybody's karma. And the best way is to leave things alone. If what you do will make things worse. Cornell Kennedy, dear Ajahn, how important is learning the theory of Abhidhamma? There's no theory in the Abhidhamma. The Abhidhamma is the teaching of the Buddha. And what you want to know is what to do. And the teaching of the Buddha said do 3 things. Avoid doing bad karma, do good karma, and purify the mind. That's the theory of the Buddha's teaching. So all you have to know is this. Know what you have to do in this lifetime is to stop doing all bad karma. Keep doing just the good karma and purify the mind of delusion, of hate, greed, hate, and delusion. That's all you need to know. Ajahn, question from John Pepper, United Kingdom. My wife is often unwell and I get worried and upset for her. How can I let go of this so that I may be of more help to her? Just look at it, that is her karma. That is the way her body is doing. So there's nothing you can do anything about it. All you can do is just to help her in as much as you can. But you cannot change her. I also get angry at the situation as I feel I cannot do what I want because of her illness. What do you suggest? I suggest that you try to do what you can do, and what you cannot do, then you just have to leave it alone and accept that this is her karma. Chia Vincent, the mind of a baby is the same as the mind of an adult. That's right. Prangsa JW, Namaskaran Prajan. Gerard Louis, Satu Satu. Question from Chong Yiu, Singapore. Ajahn, could you share some inspiring stories when you practiced? How did you overcome all the obstacles? I'll train under Rongta Mahabu for 9 years to motivate us in our practice. Thank you. I'm sorry, this is not the place and time to tell you stories. I'm here to answer your questions. So I have to not be able to tell you the stories right now. Besides, it's not my nature to keep telling people stories. I only do it if they just happen to be something to explain a situation or something, then I might use a story. But otherwise, I just don't come and sit down and tell you my story. Sunny Lim, good morning Ajahn. Have a peaceful day and thanks so much. You're welcome. Kim Nai, Tan Satu. Tik Sen Tan Satu. Sulan Ui Satu Ajahn, wishing you good health and long life. Thank you. Jinny Lin Pua, Satu Satu. Ali Hassan, the best meditation is be still and knowing. Really alert, equanimity, noted Ajahn, Satu, Satu. Shuling Lim, Satu. Question from James Lim, Johor, Malaysia. Is it right that one has to attend samadhi before doing vipassana and contemplate on anicca dukkha anatta? I am able to contemplate and comprehend the anicca dukkha anatta, but I am neither wiser, smarter, nor happier. Is there something that I haven't done right? Yes, you need the ability to let go. That means you need to have equanimity. When you see things as being anicca dukkha anatta, you have to have the ability to let them go, or to stop your mind from craving for them. This is something that you are not able to do without samadhi, without jhana. You know everything is anicca dukkha anatta, such as your body, but you cannot leave the body alone because you have no samadhi. You still worry about your body. You still want your body to stay healthy and to live forever. So this is what happens when you don't have samadhi. With samadhi, you will know that the body will get old, get sick, and die, and you will not interfere with this process. You will let it be, accept it when it happens. Sawante Satu Satu Metta Surya Ajahn Sukito Hotu. Hopefully you are always in good health. My question is it true that as a lay people, now there is a possibility to get our last destination, Nibbana? Yes, everybody has the opportunity to get to Nibbana because there is the teaching that will guide you to Nibbana, which is the Noble Eightfold Path. If you can follow the Noble Eightfold Path completely, fully, then you will be able to get to Nibbana. From Ali Hassan, keep doing good karma, not the bad, and purify. We'll practice this, Ajahn. Thank you for this teaching. You're welcome. Suman Tulada, Sadhu Vandana Bante Satu Satu. Christine Koe, Longpa Suchart, may you be fit, strong, and long life. Wish to go to your temple, pay respect. Dana to you again. I'm from Penang. Yes, one day we'll see each other again, I hope. Polling soon, is it give freedom the fish is to correct our karma? No, it's not to correct your past karma. It's to create new good karma. This is doing dana. You give life back to someone who's gonna die. You are doing good karma, but you cannot go erase your old bad karma. Your bad karma will still remain intact to give you the consequence. That's why you should not create any new bad karma. Then eventually there won't be any bad karmas for you to reap the consequence of. Yu Chien Go Satu Satu. Cornell Kennedy Vandami Ajahn. Nowadays, lots of Theravada monasteries put a price on offering candles. For example, $5 for small size candle, $10, and so forth. Any dollar volunteer is accepted, but without candle, so on and so forth, etc. Couldn't this lead to wrong view? Some believe sharing merit only can be done once a year. It is when the ghost festival. Some believe lots of ghosts and lots of many other beliefs. So what's the right view according to Dhamma? According to Dhamma, dana is for you to share, to give the extra money that you don't need to those who need your help. It can be any place, anywhere, any people. It can be a temple, a monastery. It can be the hospital. It can be school. It can be home for the place where the homeless people live. Dana means for you to be charitable, to be generous, to be kind, to be loving kindness, to have loving kindness, to practice loving kindness. So this is the purpose of dana. Are these actions appropriate to be done on a Theravada monastery? Yes, it can be done anywhere. Shall this activity be developed? Yes. Or it must stop immediately because it is wrong view and could mislead devotee into wrong direction. Kindly elaborate more, please. Thank you. I think I have already said, you should give to everybody, anybody who needs your help. If you can help them, give it to them. This is the right way of practice dana. Sento Fiandi Vandami Pante Huang Ayong. Last time I always meditate, sit long time, always feel sleeping, cannot focus breath in and out. How can I overcome this issue? You need to develop more mindfulness before you meditate. Try to recite the mantra Bhutto Bhutto all the time. When you don't need to think, keep reciting the mantra. Stop thinking before you come to meditate. Then when you meditate, you will be alert and you will not be sleepy. And your mind can become calm very, very quickly. Falling soon, any dana that we do, we need to send this merit. Not necessarily. You can send them if you want. You don't have to send them if you don't want to. It's not a mandatory thing. But it's always nice to share merit to those who departed, because some might not be able to have to make merit for themselves. So they need the merit that you make, then you can share to them. Falling soon, can somebody just practice vipassana first without practice samatha? Yes, you can practice anything, but the result is that something you have to look at. If you practice vipassana before you practice samatha, you probably won't get any result. The result is to let go of your attachment, to stop your cravings, which you cannot do without samatha. You need samatha or samadhi to support the wisdom that tells you it is wrong to follow your cravings. Once you know that it's wrong to follow your cravings, then you can stop with samadhi. Kim Teo Satu Satu. Lee Kim Lim, good morning Ajahn. Lee Kim from Malaysia. I have practiced short meditation morning and night. I have felt better after meditation, helped to reduce anxiety, tiredness, and peaceful meditation. It's purifying my mind. We'll continue practicing meditation. This week my mind will arise. The question, what is the karma generating from this action? Good karma. The karma that will get you to become enlightened. Falling soon, what are the phenomena of practice vipassana feel? You will feel released from suffering. You will feel detached from your attachment to things and people. You will feel released, liberated from dukkha. Megawati, Satu Satu. Chu Chin, good afternoon and my respect to Tan Ajahn. Thank you. Chu Chin, I am from Malaysia. Thank you. Ali Hassan, thank you Ajahn for the teaching this afternoon. Please accept my respect. Bring warm water Ajahn. Hopefully will reduce cough and inconvenience at the throat. See our Kalayana Mita again online for next teaching. I am still watching and listening to Ajahn. Thank you. Chu Jin, thank you. May I ask 2 questions? First question, is it necessary to take refuge in order to learn the Dhamma? Taking refuge means to take the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha as your teacher. That's what it means. So you have to believe in the teaching of the Buddha and the teaching of the noble disciples. Then you can study the Dhamma. Because if you don't believe in them, then you probably will be doubtful of their teaching, and you will not then follow their teaching. But if you believe in their teaching, and if they tell you to do something, you will follow. Like they will tell you to practice charity, practice morality, and practice meditation. If you take refuge in the Buddha and his noble disciple, then you will do this thing. If you don't believe in them, if you don't take them as your refuge, it means you don't believe in them. Then you won't be following their teaching. So if you believe in them, if you take them as your teacher, then you have to follow what they tell you to do. They tell you to practice charity, practice morality, and practice meditation. Wat Yannasangwararam, greetings to Ajahn, may you be well and healthy. Thank you. Pauline soon, what is the meditation Buddha practice and become enlightened? I really don't know. I wasn't there and I didn't have a chance to ask him. But from what I learned from the scripture or from his teaching, he usually teach people what he did. And he teach people to meditate with anapanasati and then develop vipassana by studying the nature of phenomena as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Chu Jin, because some master said that it is wrong not to take refuge in the triple gems, yet begin to read scripture and do chanting. If you begin to read scripture and do chanting, you already have taken the triple gem automatically. You don't need the ritual of going to a monk and say, I am taking the refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha. You do it by practice already. If you study the scripture and you do chanting, it means you already have taken up the triple gems without going through the rituals. Kwan Liman, dear Ajahn, with respect, if a monk requests to borrow money to help another foreign monk infected by COVID, was in the monk's hospital in Bangkok, what can we do? You can just ignore him, because the Buddha tell monks not to ask for money from people that they don't know, or people who didn't offer their service. So if you didn't offer your service and you didn't know the monk, you're not related to the monk, then you don't need to give it to him. It is wrong of him to ask you. Do foreigner monks need to pay for water and electricity bill in the temple? It depends on which monastery you live in. If a monastery requires all monks to pay, then everybody has to pay. Every monk has to pay, whether you are local or foreigner. If the monastery needs your support, because some monasteries don't have enough money to pay for the electricity and water bill, so the monks who live in the monastery will then be requested to help pitch in to pay for the bill. But in some monasteries, such as Wat Yannasangwararam, there is no need for monks, either a foreign monk or local monk, to pay for the electricity and water bill. So it depends on which monastery or temple you are in. If they request you to help pay, then everybody who stay there will have to pay, regardless of their nationality. From Chu Chin, second question is, does taking refuge need to undergo certain rituals? Not necessarily. You can do it by yourself, mentally, telling yourself, from now on, I'm going to take the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha as my refuge, as my teacher. I'll follow what they tell me to do. This is all you need to do. You don't have to go to ask a monk to give you the ritual. That's right. Just mentally and verbally making strong resolution, quietly on your own, is already considered taking refuge in the Triple Gem. Cheryl Teo, good afternoon, Ajahn. I'm from Malaysia. I would like to ask on walking meditation practice. Do I focus on the footsteps with Bhutto when the foot touch the floor, or focus on the sensation of the feet? I find walking meditation very hard to focus, comparing with sitting meditation. Thank you, Ajahn, for answering my question. Appreciate it very much. You can choose any method you like. That is easy for you. You can just keep walking and just reciting Bhutto, Bhutto. Just focus on Bhutto alone while you walk. Or you can watch your feet. When you move your left foot, just recite left. When you move your right foot, just recite right, left, as you walk. That's all you need to do. It's very simple. Don't make it complicated. You need something to anchor your mind from thinking about this and that. So just recite Bhutto, Bhutto when you walk, or keep reciting left, right, as you walk. That's all you need to do. From Kenneth Hunt, Guten Ajahn, please comment on the importance of forgiveness in the practice. When I became calm during the retreat, I found memories of a bad experience from childhood coming up strongly, with bad feelings and emotion. I then felt the need to deeply forgive the person concerned, even though I cannot contact them. Would Ajahn please comment? You don't need to forgive them face to face. As long as you don't hold any grudge against that person is enough. The purpose is to calm your mind, to protect the mind from being disturbed from your anger or your hatred. That's the purpose. So if you can get rid of your anger and get rid of your hatred by forgiving that person, you have done your job. You don't need to go to see that person. And should you meet that person the next time, you will have no feeling of animosity toward that person. So it's not that person that you should be worried about. It's your mind that you have to be worried about. Whether you still harbor any hatred, anger, or animosity toward that person. Because this is bad for yourself, for your mind. And you can use forgiveness to help get rid of this thing from your mind. Then your mind can become calm, peaceful, and happy. From Pauline Soon, what is the purpose of practice samatha? To make the mind become strong, become still, to be able to resist your defilement, your cravings. Without samatha, your mind cannot resist your cravings. Because without samatha, your mind will be constantly craving, desiring, and it needs samatha, because when the samatha, the mind becomes content, the mind becomes still. When the craving arises, it can resist the craving. When it uses vipassana to teach that craving leads to dukkha. UOSC, good afternoon, Ajahn. Greetings from Malaysia. Greetings to you. Ajahn Suchart, a question from Limpo Sim, Malaysia. Question number 1, after an Arahant passed away, is his mind still exist? Yes. His mind still remained the same as before he died. It's just a disconnection between the body from the mind, that's all. or the mind from the body. The body returns to the four elements. The mind remains the same, remain as an arahant. Doesn't take a new body from that point onward. Polling soon, can Ajahn tell how to practice vipassana? By looking at everything as being impermanent, temporarily changing, not lasting. By virtue of this impermanent, if you cling to them, it will cause you dukkha. And there's nothing you can do about this impermanent. You cannot force it to be permanent because it's anatta. It's not under your control. This is how you practice vipassana. When you see things and people, think of them as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Sulan Ui. Dear Ajahn, I tried meditating these few days. I meditated only a few minutes, but it feels very long. So I will open my eyes and check at the clock. Is time an indicator of when we stop meditation? Thank you. No, time is not the indicator because you want to meditate as long as possible. The only reason why you use time is when you have other engagement and you have to go and do some other things. Then you might need to have the clock to remind you of that. But if you have no engagement, then you want to sit for as long as possible. Because what you want is the result from your meditation, which is peace of mind, contentment, and happiness. Once you get to that point, then you will want to remain in that state for a very long time. Jamron Pon Kumara, Satu Satu, Wandami Thanajan. Thank you. Pauling soon, Ajahn. Idea and advice to layperson what kind of meditation need to practice. First, you need to practice samatha or samadhi by developing mindfulness first. Keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, or keep watching your body before you meditate. Every movement of your body, just focus on what you do during the daytime, during your daily activities. And when you have time to meditate, then you sit down and watch your breath or recite a mantra. Don't worry about vipassana at this point. It's not of good use to you anyway. Sento Fiandi, Ajahn, I hope you can inspire for me why if I cannot focus in meditation. I hope Ajahn can teach solution for me. It's very simple. When you just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto all the time, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, then you will be able to focus when you meditate. Just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto during your daily activities, when you don't need to think about anything else. Just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto mentally. Sento, I'm from Indonesia. Thank you. From Stanley Benjamin. Good afternoon, Ajahn. I am Stanley from Malaysia. Consciousness in the mind itself. That's right. Not consciousness is not in the body. Pauling soon. How to send merit by contemplating in our mind will do. That's right. Just think in your mind that you want to dedicate this merit to this or that person who passed away. That's all you need to do. Then that person who passed away will know if he or she is waiting for your merit. Sue Christie, Satu Satu. Falling soon, can the layperson teach meditation? Anybody can teach meditation if they know how to do it. But if they don't know how to do it, then they cannot teach other people how to do it. So you need to teach yourself how to meditate first. And when you know how to meditate and meditate successfully, then you can teach other people to meditate if you want. Question number 2 from Lim Po Sim. The more I read, I became more confused about existence at the stage of Nibbana. Actually, what is Nibbana? Nibbana is just your mind that is pure from defilement. That's all it is. It's a purified mind. The mind that has no greed, hate, or delusion. It's called Nibbana. Pauline soon. After I angry with a word to a person, is the karma alright? How should I correct? Not to do it the next time. What you did already, you cannot wipe it out from your mind, from your karma list. But you can prevent it not to do it the next time. When you're angry, just don't say anything. Thank you so much, Chuchin from Chuchin. Thank you so much, Ajahn, for your clear explanation. It has cleared my doubt. Hang on, where are you? Thank you so much. Thank you, Ajahn, for your clear explanation. It has cleared my doubts. Appreciate so much. You're welcome. Adeline Chin, good afternoon, Ajahn. Very happy to be listening to you today, learning a lot through your Dhamma sharing. You're welcome. Pauline soon. Sometimes I meditate, it feels the time go very fast and has sit long time. What does it mean? Is it has to go in? It doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're not aware of the passing of the time. So the time passed by very quickly to you. It just seems like it passed by. When you're focused on something, you forget about the time. From Varataya Asagun, Grab Namaskaran Ajahn. It's the most direct and immediate way to empty the mind is bringing up the mantra Bhutto or the Kammatthana you are used to. Is it the most effective remedy to our lack of mindfulness? Yes. It depends on how strong you have developed this Kammatthana. If you have developed it very strongly, you can bring mindfulness back almost immediately and empty your mind. But if your mantra Bhutto is not strong, it might take a while before you will be able to empty your mind. Xiao Chang, hi Ajahn. My meditation practice continues 2 to 3 hours daily for a few years, but recently quite disappointed with the progress as concentration is so difficult. Sometimes meditation progress well and sometimes not. Is it mindfulness is the key success to the meditation? Yes. Someday if you're not mindful, then your meditation will not be good. On the day that your mindfulness is good, then your meditation will be good. It means sometimes my mindfulness is good, it progresses well, and when not progressing well, it's lack of mindfulness. That's right. Pauling soon, how to achieve long life or having merit from my good practice. You cannot achieve long life or short life because there are so many other factors that has to deal with your longevity. So the best way is to train your mind to accept whatever you get. Okay. Just look after your body well, and how long it will live is up to the body. You cannot force the body to live long or short. Chayam Lama Gurung Satu Satu Chuk Boy Long Satu Satu Varataya Asagun, thank you very much for the answer, Ka. You're welcome. We have about 5 more minutes left in our meeting today. You can still send in your question if you are typing your question now. But if you haven't yet typed your question, maybe not. This is not the time to do it. You you might have to wait for the next meeting, which probably will be next week. But if you think you can type it and send it now, go ahead and do it. We still have about 5 minutes left to answer your question. I think today is a little bit cool. We have lots of rain today. That's why my body is adjusting to this new condition. Normally, I don't have much throat problem, but when the weather, the temperature becomes lower, then this thing can happen. But it takes a day or two to adjust, then it will come back to normal. I'm sorry if my coughing might bother some of you. Okay, we still have 4 minutes left. For some reason, some of your question is being erased from the screen, so I cannot reply to your question. Any karma happening to our life is we cannot prevent. Yes, some of the things happen we cannot prevent. Some we can prevent. Like if you want to be safe from the virus, you now can prevent it by taking the vaccine. But a year before, you cannot prevent catching the virus because there is no vaccine. So it depends on on what you can do and what you cannot do. Aranut, thank you very much for your teaching. Kenneth Hunt, thank you for your teaching. Tan Ajahn, please give your throat a rest. Thank you. Go Yan Chuan, Sadhu, Pauling Soon. Thank you, Ajahn, teaching for our benefit. You're welcome. Okay, looks like that's all the questions we have for today. And that's about all the time we have for today. So I will say thank you very much for your participation. I hope you can benefit from this meeting and use it to advance you in your practice and reach the goal of Nibbana soon. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay healthy, and mindful, and keep practicing the Dhamma, teaching of the Buddha. I'll see you next week. Goodbye for now.